Hey Leo, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Ace of Swords and Three of Cups. Ace of Swords has been coming out a lot. I think this is the third reading, either today, maybe there was one yesterday, but I already had a reading come out today where Ace of Swords was the first card out. I think that this may be the third reading today with the Ace of Cards, the Ace of Swords being the first card. So we have Ace of Swords, we have Three of Cups, and we have Six of Wands and the High Priestess. With Ace of Swords and Three of Cups, this can mean that there can be like a breakthrough within a relationship, a friendship. It can mean that there's a reconciliation that happens. Having Three of Cups and then having, I'm hearing a rival. Having Three of Cups and then having Six of Wands feels like something came together successfully, and having that High Priestess there can be this feeling of maybe emotional tranquility. I feel too like there's something about being connected with guidance as you move through this process too. Like you may have had to like follow your intuition very precisely maybe in order to move through this, or like really listen to your emotional instinct precisely to move through this. So it can be a time that's connected with that. I'm seeing a High Priestess looking at the Six of Wands, so I feel like you have worked through something. Having the High Priestess there feels like emotions, intuition being involved in this. And I'm also seeing Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck, which can mean that things are going to be settling down a bit emotionally for you. I even feel like you maybe got some type of balance right. This feels like something that you had to toe the line with emotionally. Maybe even had to figure out what was important to you and listen to your intuition about it. I'm seeing actually you look quite relaxed here. There is something about there's a palpable feeling that's connected with when you're thinking about where things are going, a heaviness that's being felt. If you keep balancing and taking care of your mental health, I feel like this is something that you can keep in check. I feel even too like maybe you had to go through something difficult or you had to face something scary, but here is you coming out on the other side of it. Kind of feels like rising above. Because that Knight of Swords can be being in the thick of it mentally and feeling like as you're trying to swim up to the surface of the water, kind of being dragged back down and having to fight your way through to get that breath of air. And then Six of Wands is feeling like you then just continue rising, like even through the air. So it feels like going from maybe something that you felt like was being quite low actually mentally to then like your energy sort of rising up, and this can feel like something has successfully been accomplished. And that even though it may have been scary or something like that, or it could have been like difficult to sort of pull yourself out of, at the same time you have done so. Maybe also part of this was about seeing things differently than you had been before. Seeing the truth and looking it in the eyes. Successfully prioritizing, successfully balancing, successfully figuring things out, successfully maneuvering. You could have wondered too how this was going to impact things, maybe socially. I feel like with centering and grounding, everything really comes together and you are available to move through this. Yeah, maybe there was a like not wanting to face something because there was conflict involved. Maybe there was a resistance to that. And this could have had you feeling all tied up emotionally. Yeah, this can be like an altercation. It can be a conflict of some sort. Something that didn't feel easy maybe to unpack, because I'm seeing Three of Swords be there. Okay, Three of Swords is really something that you feel is unpleasant. There can be pain involved, there can be suffering involved. Then having Four of Cups is like when you're going through something and it doesn't feel good, it can really lower your energy. I think because of your threshold being impacted by having an experience like that, which can feel extremely draining. And there can be a part of you too that feels like maybe not there totally emotionally because of this, and at the same time there can be a part of you that's like, I have to go there and I have to deal with this in order to feel better. There can also be a part of you that's like, it's so draining though to deal with this. I feel like both of those things. It's funny because Four of Cups can be this part of us that, at least in this card, it reminds me of this feeling of like not wanting to move forward. And this card, instead of it being just somebody that's sitting there, not going in either direction, this Four of Cups is going backwards into the past, actually. And having that Three of Swords there can be like something of having to go back into the past or go back into something painful, like possibly even to deal with this or to set this right. But then having Queen of Cups there, Queen of Cups is like chasing that part of yourself that's going into that. And maybe this is about chasing that part of you that could possibly go back into something painful. And I feel like the High Priestess is the part of you that's witnessing what's going on within this. Because this card is going backwards instead of forward. So there's something going on with this. And having Queen of Cups there too is the... Queen of Cups is the deep feeler of things. So yeah, I wonder if there's like something potentially painful that you might be going back into. And I don't know if this would be like maybe going into a repeated situation, or this can be cleaning something up from the past. Either way, the Queen of Cups feels like wanting to reconnect with that part of yourself while also dealing with, we have Five of Cups there. It's like something that has to be resolved on an emotional level. I do feel like there's something going on about not wanting to have conflict and maybe actually like really wanting to avoid that if possible, and it feels like maybe unavoidable, like it's something that has to be moved through in order to put the pieces where they need to go. We do have King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. With that, I'd say things connected with like you having a responsibility here can be something that's being highlighted, like you having a role to play, you wanting to make sure that you're making moves that you can really stand behind and feel like you're investing your energy properly in a way that you feel good about, that being important. Because King of Pentacles is that energy that will do the difficult thing that needs to be done because that's just what needs to be done. There's really a standing by one's values when making choices and doing the responsible thing, even if it's the difficult thing to do, to feel good. And recognizing that that's a key. When you're making choices that are not aligned with your values, it depletes your self-worth. However, when you're making choices that are congruent with your values, that allows you to feel settled and feel at peace, even if it means having to do challenging things here. I'm seeing something about resting and grounding, but almost feeling like something that needs to be done that maybe you may be feeling anxious about or maybe freaking you out a little bit, knowing that that's sort of looming over you a little bit, but almost being in that space of like, I don't have to do that right now, but I know that that's something that I'm going to have to face, and it's something that I'm going to have to work out. So something does have to be worked out here. Going through a time that feels difficult to make your way through. However, I'm seeing your efforts prove successful and that you do. I'm also seeing there be a reconnecting that's happening. So this can be you sort of making peace with a deeply emotional part of yourself. This means also too, some of you can be reconnecting with someone. This would be somebody that you have an emotional connection with, whether it be yourself and or another person. I do feel like clarity is brought, and at the same time, I mean, why would we have... When we have the Ace of Swords there, it means that you don't need to figure anything out, because the things that need to be figured out have been figured out, but then action needs to be taken. So I wonder if this Eight of Swords is just feeling like maybe not ready. This can be like maybe not ready to say something, maybe not ready to do something. That can be the feeling anyway. I'm not saying that you aren't ready, but it can be knowing that you have to face something that feels difficult to face, and that can be where that hesitance is coming from. Anything else? Having to move through something that feels painful to move through, like working with something that feels maybe just like not what you'd prefer. It's like it's here, it has to be dealt with, but maybe you wouldn't prefer to be doing something like this right now. Maybe it even feels like the ugly truth of something. I kind of get that. Ace of Swords and Nine of Swords is reminding me of that. You being as adaptable as this situation requires, and also making sure that you're prioritizing. Something about prioritizing is really important here. It's extremely significant for some reason, and it feels like balancing everything that you have going on and also prioritizing, because like one side affects the other side. There's something of that. It's like something about the concept of a mirror. And I wonder too if there had been some type of discord where it felt like there was a lack of peace because something really needed to be addressed that normally would be not having an issue. Three of Cups will be, it can be like a friendship or something like that, but then having Five of Wands can be maybe some discord that's going on there, or it can be something going on socially where usually things are supportive and there's maybe like openness and receptivity. Five of Wands can indicate something has to be worked out in order to reestablish that. And then also the like minding yourself and taking care of yourself and stilling enough to really hear the wisdom and the advice so you can be receptive to that, so you can know how to move through. Figuring out what's important to you, having to address something that feels difficult to address when you may not even know what's going to happen if you do this, and then also trying to like ease your mind while going through something that can feel draining, and also too like it asks some difficult stuff of you. And I think too, this part of you that may not want to step into that Five of Wands, there can be a part of you that's like, I know that this thing is requiring my attention and energy and focus. I also feel too tired because I've been dealing with all of this stuff And even though I know it's not going to go away and I know that I need to deal with this, there's this part of me that sort of wants to run away from it. So you can be dealing with this part of you that's like, I'm so tired moving through this, and now I have to put my energy here and I have to figure this out, and it requires energy of me, but maybe I don't feel like I have that much energy to be doing it. And so I think that's where the prioritizing comes through and is important, to make sure that there's this balance between stilling and recharging and then addressing what most needs to be addressed right now. And this is sort of the weight that you're carrying with you, because King of Pentacles feels like for some reason this is in the job description right now, and this is what's needed of you, this is what's required of you, and so you kind of like have a responsibility to be doing exactly this, because that's part of taking on this role. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.